Hi, and thanks for joining the Fall New and Notable broadcast. This is Katie Pace, and before we get started, we want to share an update on the show. There are so many exciting things we want to share with you today that this broadcast will run 15 minutes past the hour. We pre-recorded the show in order for you to watch it beyond today, but we are all live on the chat to answer questions in real time. You will find the entire show on the Village section at steelcase.com/new. Now let's get to it. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoy. Well, hello, and thanks for joining the Fall New and Notable broadcast. Yes, we have a new name for a new way of launching. I'm Katie Pace from Steelcase Communications. We've listened to you, and we're changing our approach. This hour, we're going to share with you everything you need to know for the fall launch campaign. And you can expect new content from around the company 4 times a year, beautifully packaged in these new and notable broadcasts. So pay attention. These are the products, stories, and ideas that help your customers work better and help you sell more. We're calling today's broadcast the Design Episode. We'll show off some beautiful new spaces, inspire you with actionable information about our brand evolution, hear from design leaders across the company, and of course, share critical new product updates. This quarter, we're going one-on-one with some of the leaders you want to hear from most, including Michael Held on his design philosophy. We have so much to cover today that we will not be taking your questions live at the end. Don't worry though, we have a great team of product and brand experts monitoring the chat. Leave us a comment or a question as we go. There are so many experts on deck who are ready for your questions in the chat. And we would love to hear from you. We want to make these 1-hour broadcasts informative, helpful, and dare I say, entertaining. At the end of the hour in the chat, we will link to a survey. It's fast and easy to complete. We're working hard to create a quarterly moment that helps you sell more. So tell us how we're doing. Our ask today is that you study the spaces, stories, and products that we're sharing in this hour. More information, including sales presentation, imagery collection, and everything we cover here today is available now on steelcase.com/new in the Village section. In the sales presentation, you'll be able to find specific product availability, details, positioning, competitive information, and pricing. The dealer showroom offer is open from October 17th through January 18th. Don't forget about that. And next week, Tuesday, October 25th, all the information you see here today will be publicly available at steelcase.com/new. Got it? All right, let's roll. Well, this moment is an opportunity. Change is here, and I am here with Gail Moutry and Brad Doan, our two communications leaders. And Gail, I want to talk to you about that video because it was so cool. Why did we play that video?
Well, we made and played that video just to show everybody that we understand what great brands need to do. And great brands need to remain relevant to their customers, to their audiences. We've been relevant for over 100 years. You saw from that video that we know what to do to reflect what's going on in the current ethos. So we can do this. We know how to do it. We know how to remain relevant, but we do have to know how to change. And just as that video showed you, you have to change when you feel the culture and the sentiment around you changing. So we just wanted to reinforce that point with the video.
Yeah, so some of our audience might be wondering or thinking today, is this the moment to invest in our brand? Should we be making these investments now?
Yeah, I've heard that from a few people, and you know what? This is exactly the moment where we want to be making this investment. We have never had a time where we've been at the center of the conversation. Everybody's talking about work and the workplace. We have a competitive advantage that a lot of the audiences we work with believe we know more than anybody else about that. So we've got such a moment to continue to do that, but also reflect or change some of the ways that our brand needs to change so that we can build greater relevance, as I said before, but maybe more importantly, start to build greater emotional relevance with all of our audiences.
Yeah, and we didn't do this in a silo. We didn't make these changes on our own. We talked to a lot of sales, a lot of dealers, a lot of you. Brad, tell us a little bit about what we learned.
Yeah, we learned a lot, Katie. A few of the things that we learned are some things that we can really build on for the future that we're really proud of. The brand in our business is really viewed by the marketplace as being innovative. It's being perceived for being progressive. It's reliable and it's trusted. Those are all great things that we can build on. Then there's some things that maybe were a little less exciting, like we're sometimes perceived as being corporate, maybe a little academic, and maybe not as design forward as we need to be.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned there were some things that people also desired, and by people, I mean sales and dealers, like what we heard from you. So what are those things?
Well, there's a desire to have a stronger story, both about Steelcase, but also about our dealer community that elevates design and also captures the essence of what is uniquely true about us. And then there's a desire to think about how we go to market in a new way through a launch process that not only considers enhanced digital, but also enhanced in-person experiences. And then there's a desire for more memorable, compelling ESG stories that really celebrate how we and our dealers are using our businesses for a force for good. So there's a lot of desire to continue to also share our research and think about how we share that research in a more engaging and consumable way as well.
Well, it's the $1 million question. What is changing?
Well, the $1 million question didn't come with a $1 million budget, but we were able to do some really good things. First, we're going to refresh both our color palette and the typeface we use in a way that we think reflects current trends and sentiment. You know, people have asked us, why bother to do this with brand and typeface? Does it matter? Well, yeah, it does. You know, color and typeface, they say something about your brand. You know, they attract attention if they're new. They demonstrate something's different. And they actually really help you with the hierarchy of messaging. Now, we're also changing how we talk about ourselves, both what we say and how we say it. And we worked with a brand consultant who asked us a really good question. She said, what is profoundly true about us and only us? And that's been our inspiration and direction as we started to create new messages. So here's our brand purpose. We help people do their best work by creating places that work better. And whether customers call that a mission, a promise, or a vision, it's our purpose. And here's our new brand story. It answers the question, what's profoundly true of us and only us? Now, I'm not going to read it to you right now, but let me show you how it's being created. So all of the things that we do, the things that make us profoundly and uniquely only us, are represented in that story because we've written it around 5 story beats to help you remember how to talk about it. So number 1, we're about work and all the places where work happens. We offer a comprehensive range of products and services. Number 3, our research and insights lead us to innovative design. 4, all of this is brought to life for our customers through our dealer community. And 5, together with our dealers, we use our business as a force for good to help the world work better. And now I'm going to ask Brad to take you through more of the changes that we're making.
Thank you, Gail. So we know how important digital experiences are and that we have a lot of work to do on our public website to create those experiences. And we're making significant investments in search and navigation to make those content and our products easy to find. We're improving our content as well, including visuals and technically even how those visuals present themselves in a more consistent and engaging way. Those are important experience changes, but they're really going to make an impact for a lot of our important audiences. Finally, we're planning to invest in new platforms next year that are going to enable us to create more compelling experiences and give us more robust capabilities to do integrated co-marketing with dealers, generate leads, etc. So we know digital experiences are essential for our success, and it's a huge focus of this brand evolution. We're such a visually driven industry that we couldn't evolve our brand without evolving our approach to visualization. And you can see an example of a current photo on the left and 2 new photos on the right. Hopefully you immediately see a marked improvement. We're rethinking everything from styling, lighting, perspectives, wardrobe, models. I've seen some of the early visuals and they're using this new point of view and they're really incredible. We've made and continue to make big investments in the places where our people come together and where our customers can experience our solutions as well. So we've been updating all of our WorkLife showrooms around the world. We've made some exciting new changes to the Grand Rapids link as well, including some fantastic new Everwall spaces and our progressive new Leader Commons, which reimagines executive spaces for hybrid work. Gail's going to show you a little bit about that later in the broadcast. I talked a little bit about ESG in the beginning of this broadcast, but we need to do a better job of sharing more stories about ESG and make those stories more engaging across all of the platforms and mediums that we have, social media, web, print, etc. And we need to celebrate the moments when our efforts are recognized by third parties, like awards. ESG is an essential focus for our business, and it's a great opportunity to drive more emotional relevance. We're developing a lot of new templates as well, like the PowerPoint template that you see on screen. We're not only designing them, we're actually programming them so that our color palette, fonts, styles, standards are totally integrated. And our goal is to make it completely simple for all of you to present this brand in a new, consistent way. And as Katie mentioned, we have a new approach to launching new products and messages. We're going to have 4 launch windows per year, and we're going to use those windows to launch with impact and make it easier for all of your teams to digest that launch. This is going to happen across all of our brands, and best of all, new products are going to be included only when they are FOE ready. So Gail has a few more exciting things to show, and I'm going to turn it over to Gail.
So we know from customers and designers who have engaged in the Work Better materials that we began producing at the beginning of the pandemic, and that they found these materials informative and really helpful. So we are going to make this more than a campaign. We're going to make it a core brand platform for sharing all of the ways we can help our customers as they move forward. And here's a quick look at 2 of the Work Better tactics that we know will build emotional relevance with our audiences. We know that many people love podcasts, and so we're going pro with ours. It will be the Work Better podcast series, and we have some really significant authors, experts, designers, and scientists that will be interviewed. And we'll also bring in some internal experts to complement and comment on these interviews. And here's how our new printed and digital publication will look and feel. This will replace 360, and it really does feel very different. You can see 360 on the lower right, as it has been, and then you can see our inaugural issue, which is going to be the design issue, celebrating design, designers, and featuring all of the brands and furnishings that we offer. So would you like to see what's inside? Well, then you have to wait until the end of the broadcast, and then I'll take you through what's inside the magazine. All of these changes, templates, and guidelines will be available on October 25th. And you'll be able to access them from a really simple site, brand.steelcase.com. And you can go there directly or easily access the site through Spark or Village. I want to close on one point. The change we need and want, it begins with all of us. And we know that you and your teams are the most important brand touch points. So it's up to all of you to help our customers, designers, and the other audiences we work with see how we're changing. This is a challenging time for all of us, but it's also a really exciting time. And we know we've got what it takes to be ready for the next era.
Well, thanks, Gail and Brad. That's really exceptional work and such an exciting time for us. So thank you for sharing that. Well, part of our brand evolution includes updating spaces, including 15 new spaces across the Grand Rapids campus. Our newest space is the Leader Commons, designed for the way leaders work in this new hybrid era. Before the team moved in, Gail went in to tour the space just for you. So we're going to take a look now.
Years ago, we changed the way executives work. We used our executive floor in Grand Rapids to bring our leaders out of Executive Alley and into an interactive range of open and enclosed spaces. Some were shared, some were owned. It was revolutionary, and we led the way in reimagining leadership spaces. Well, we did it again in 2010 when we moved our leadership team into an on-the-ground space at the intersection of our Innovation Center, Learning Spaces, and Work Cafe. And we set the pace for leader spaces, which were now highly visible and offered choice and control for the people who work there. Well, it's time to do it again. These past few years have catapulted us into a new way of working, something that the entire world is calling hybrid work. And with it comes something that we call hybrid collaboration, which means working together when some people are in person and some are remote. And you know what? This is really, really hard. And we know that because customers around the world are asking us for help. Bringing organizations back together, recharged and reinvigorated, is perhaps the greatest leadership challenge today, regardless of what organizations' hybrid work strategies may be. And one of the things that we know from our research is that employees want their leaders to be visible, accessible, and transparent in how they run their business. For many leaders, this requires new behaviors and practices, and it's a big challenge for them because they also need to get their jobs done. So how can leaders be accessible? How can they be approachable? How can they collaborate as a team? How can they handle day-to-day issues as well as moments of crisis, something they've had way too much experience with recently? And how do they share quickly with each other as well as their organization? And then on top of all of this, how do they do it in a hybrid way when meetings and collaboration sessions include in-room participants as well as remote participants? What a great opportunity for all of us. It's exactly the right time for us to lead the next generation of leadership spaces with a portfolio of products and partnerships that will solve for these issues. So welcome to the Leader Commons. This is a new behavioral prototype for executives everywhere, but one that the Steelcase leadership team lives in. It's a leadership neighborhood, zoned the way great neighborhoods are, with social spaces and courtyards, private spaces, collaborative spaces, resident spaces, front porches, back porches, and communications kiosks. All of these spaces have technology woven throughout them as well to support hybrid work and to create great employee experiences. And we know that great employee experiences are equitable, they're engaging, and they're easy. And if we can do those three things, we can create great employee experiences. And we are calling this the Leader Commons. And it's not just a space for leaders, it's a space for everyone. Leadership spaces need to be accessible. They need to feel approachable, but they also have to be functional for people who have really demanding jobs. So let's take a look. I'm standing in the Social Hub, which is the first space you see when you come into the Leader Commons. And it's designed to be a place that is highly social, where people can grab a cup of coffee, they can talk to each other, and we create an environment that is highly approachable. People have been working out of their kitchens for the last 2 years, so we brought the kitchen into the Social Hub. I'm standing outside a hybrid huddle space, which is a really important element of the Leader Commons. It's adjacent to the social hub as well as all of the other spaces in here. And it's designed for those moments where a couple of people need to have a really good session with people who are calling in remotely. There are 2 screens inside, one for participants, one for the content. There's the right postures for people to have a very equitable experience, and the people on the other side of the screen can see the whiteboards, so you can still have an analog and digital experience. Here's the question everybody asks: where's the CEO space? Well, here it is. It is centrally located, but it's being designed to allow for both private and focus work, as well as collaborative work in an aside that we affectionately refer to as the CEO back porch. Now, so you know, this is Campers and Dens by Orangebox. It's currently available in the UK. It will then be launching in EMEA, and then after that it will be coming to the Americas. But the point is that there are so many unique and new ways to create CEO spaces, and this space really allows us to show our customers the kind of freedom they could have to express what their CEO needs. I just talked about an executive back porch. Well, here's a front porch that's designed for all the teams to use, and like the front porch in a great neighborhood, it's a space that says, it's okay, come and talk to us, let's have a chat. And then adjacent to that is one of the executive assistant areas, which in itself is unique in its designed to be supportive of the people they work with, but also to help them work as a team. And one of the other things that we've done into that is layer a lot of capability for them to actually configure the space for the work they're doing and in the way that they like to work. And lastly, here I am in a really unique space for remote leaders, like me. When I'm in Grand Rapids, I can use my work tent. When I'm not, it can be used by anyone on my team or any other team. So just to close, remember that we have an enormous opportunity here to set the pace again for the way a new era of leadership needs to work. So engage in the story, share the story with the designers and customers that you work with, and when we can, let's get them here to see what we can do.
The new Grand Rapids Leader Commons is an incredible space. We want to encourage you to schedule that trip to Grand Rapids and get in touch with corporate sales today. We are leading hybrid work with leadership spaces, and when you see it, you'll believe it. Trust me. You can also read more about this space and the applications in the new Work Better magazine, available October 25th. Well, good design matters. As Gail and Brad spoke about earlier, we're working to elevate design across our brand. You saw it in our new typography and colors, our new photography, and of course, our spaces and products. Our design talent will help us attract new customers, new specifiers, and break into new markets. To lead the team, Michael Held recently took over the reins for the Steelcase Design Studio and relocated to Grand Rapids from Munich. Here to talk about our focus on design is Michael Held. Well, hi, Michael. Thanks for joining me today. Michael, it's been about 5-ish months since you've been in your new role as leader of the Steelcase design team, and you've been with the company 9 years, though some of us are still getting to know you. We're a little slow. So tell us your origin story. Where are you from? How did you get into design?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I was born in a small place in southern Germany, more like a medieval open-air museum of a town with a wall around it in a crater, so really hard to get out of a little bit. And some people might know it from the scene in Willy Wonka where the elevator goes through the roof. There's this little medieval town in the background.
Wow.
That's my hometown. And I got into design when my parents did some renovations on the house, and me and my brother got to move to our basement rooms. And for the first time when I was 12, I had to think about how to furnish my room, what do I need, what I want in there. And a few years later, when my parents did some more renovations in our living room, I had some ideas for furniture pieces, and for whatever reason, they trusted me.
Wow.
And got a carpenter to make it. So we got those pieces made, and later on my father's office as well.
Wow.
And so they were always very supportive, and that's how I got into design. Not particularly furniture design later, but that's how it started.
Yeah, and the rest is history. So how did you get to Steelcase then?
I was in Asia at the time, in Hong Kong, after years of living and working in Taiwan, Singapore, for an electronics company in Hong Kong. And I was looking for new challenges, opportunities, and Steelcase was looking for someone to set up like a small innovation process and team there in Asia. And so it was a really good fit. And I went back into the furniture industry that I started my career in earlier, before going to Asia. And so I started to work with a small team in Hong Kong and in the leadership team across Asia Pacific. And it was great fun. We worked for a long time on Naviteam Island, which was growth market response at the time. Not so relevant anymore today, unfortunately, but a great project. When we started to think about the link in Munich to combine our innovation teams in Europe, I was asked to move. So it's the first time I ever worked in Germany, not too far from where I actually grew up. But first time working there with the team, and the biggest project probably of the last couple of years that people might know here is Flex Active Frames.
Yeah, Flex Active Frames, that's great. So what do you think, I mean, those are incredible projects that you've worked on over the years. What do you think, after all this global experience, like what's your unique design philosophy that you're going to bring to Steelcase?
Yeah, I think part of the perspective is that global exposure. I mean, I was born in Europe, I was raised in Europe, but I worked extensively abroad. And I think in Steelcase as well, like I've got experiences beyond our, North American market and the business here. So I think I'm going to bring a pretty global view to our team. I've worked globally with our team already for a long time. And yet at the same time, there's a lot of stuff I need to learn about the American market, meet our customers here, A&D community, our dealers. So the dealer conference a few weeks ago was already a great opportunity to meet many of them.
Yeah. So how are we going to use design as a competitive advantage?
Yeah, so I tried to answer that, not in all detail, I would say, because I'm not quite there yet. But we were talking about, like, on the one hand, making our trends and research more tangible. Like, how can we better connect that kind of work to the actual products? I think we're already doing a great job in many of the products today, but I think we could do more. Another aspect is diversity, inclusion, to have a more inclusive design process. Sustainability, sooner or later that will be table stakes. Today it can still be a differentiator. But I think overall it's really about making our brand more emotionally relevant to our internal and external audience. Bringing design alive, the stories behind the product alive in a more, in a more inspiring way.
Yeah. Well, we just talked to Brad and Gail about that and about the new leader comments. And so before we let you go, I just wanted to know, what is your workspace like? Like, how do you work?
Yeah, I never really had my own table or area for the last 15 years. And I don't really need that. I really like to be flexible. I just need a place where I can start my day in the morning. I love the new hybrid Everwall spaces in the learning area that we have here. I use those a lot. And I love to be with, the development team around the prototypes and discuss the future. Yeah,
that's what I thought you'd say, making stuff, right? Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thanks so much, Michael. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Well, coming up in just a minute, we are going to introduce you to the 2022 Impact Report and share our commitments to people and the planet, as well as share sticky stories that you can share with your clients on how we're impacting the planet and people. Our dealers are making headlines around the country. Take a look at some news from them.
Top of the world, like nothing's ever gonna bring me down.
Work, workers, and the workplace are all changing.
And so are we.
It may not be my birthday, but I just want to celebrate. I just want to celebrate, 'cause it's a good day, good life. I just want to celebrate all night.
The new Everwall Pavilion in the Grand Rapids Link demonstrates the range of possibilities with interior architecture. It's thoughtfully designed and inspiring to work in. Let's take a closer look.
Everwall was designed to inspire and to think about the full range of possibilities with interior architecture. In the development of Everwall, it was important not just to think about what Everwall is, but how it will delight both designers and installers. Field conditions can vary during construction, leading to variation on site, impacting labor costs and slowing project schedules. Everwall was designed to dynamically adjust at install time, addressing those pain points. But at the same time, Everwall is beautiful with its new modern black hardware, architectural laminates, and warmer metallic frame finishes. Designers are going to love the range of choices. With Everwall, planes are expanded to create shelter and privacy, cultivating a sense of belonging as people come back to work. Making a first impression counts, and Everwall allows us to express new thinking in prefabricated walls to create beautiful architectural interior spaces.
I just love the new Everwall Pavilion here in the Grand Rapids campus. So for now, here are 3 things you can do today to start winning with Everwall. First, visit the Everwall product page and the brand new Architectural Solutions Village page. There are fantastic resources there for you, including an Everwall product guide that has everything you need. You'll also find social media posts for you to use on your own feeds, so help us please spread the word. Second, install Everwall in your dealership showroom. Take advantage of $50.95 pricing on the Everwall dealer showroom offer now through April 12th. And third and finally, call into the bi-weekly architectural design forums. As always, contact your architectural sales consultant with more questions. A few weeks ago, I spoke to Jacob Bagley, one of our regional reps from Orangebox. With a 7-week lead time, now is the time to get Orangebox in front of your customers. And it's never been easier to connect with your Orangebox representative. Let's see what Jacob had to say. Well, hey, Jacob, thanks so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is great.
Yeah, so our customers are facing a lot of uncertainty today, especially when it comes to their space. But we know and we've seen that pods can really help them. Talk to us a little bit more about why pods are so in demand today.
Yeah, so definitely with what's happening in today's environment, the use of flexible products and the flexibility of pods are needed now more than ever. So we know when customers head back to their space in 2 months, 6 months, 9 months down the line, they're going to need a space that is truly flexible, multimodal, what we at Orangebox call smart working.
Yeah, exactly. You can tell that the flexibility is really resonating with customers right now. I'll tell you, I went to NeoCon, it was like pod city. There was pods everywhere. Everyone had a pod. And Orangebox is really a unicorn in that pod market. Tell us why.
Yeah, so it's interesting because year over year we're seeing, like you said, tons and tons of new people in the space, and that really resonates to what we're doing, right? So when you look at Air 3 and on the QT, they're both truly unique, not only in design, but also functionality. So when we look at Air 3, the louvered ceiling that opens and closes, so it's the only one in the market that can do that because it's a patented system. What that allows us to do is bypass fire suppression in most jurisdictions by being compliant to NFPA 13. And then when we look at on the QT has a really unique shape. And then if we're looking at it has a tall unit, it has a short unit, which we've never seen in the market before, and also has a lot of different materiality options that give the users choice and control and designers so that the product can fit the space instead of the space fitting the product. And then both of our units are manufactured in North America in Steelcase manufacturing. 10-year manufacturing warranty, everything comes on a Steelcase truck, which is, the benefit of being an own brand of Steelcase.
Yeah. One of the other things I recently learned that I don't know if everybody knows, and I thought was so cool, is that we have one of the only ADA compliant pods. Tell us why that matters.
Yeah, so that's Air 3. When we look at Air 3, the whole series of Air 3, from the smallest version to the tallest version, are ADA compliant. So it has a low threshold to get in, it has a correct door opening, and then the turn radius on the inside. And that's really important for all types of businesses, large companies, and universities to have these spaces that are inclusive for everybody to use.
Oh, that's great. And speaking of universities, I know you've had some incredible wins with universities, which I wouldn't necessarily think of pods and universities, but tell us about some of the successes you've had.
Yeah, so year over year, one of our biggest growing markets is the higher education space. So at Minnesota State University in Mankato, what they really wanted was to create these individual spaces for students, for their faculty to have individual spaces to do online classes, to have heads down work. And what they did was purchase 100 on the QTs for students and faculty to do exactly that. But then again, talking about ADA compliance, they wanted to partner Air 3 with On the QT to be able to have those adjacent spaces that are ADA compliant and that are inclusive for everybody to use.
So much exciting stuff coming from Orangebox. Here it's beautiful. We're standing in front of some preview product.
Right.
And there's lots in the leadership space where we are standing now. What are you telling our customers or sales and dealers about some of this preview product?
Yeah, so the preview product, again, being a global company, it's available in the UK right now, but we want to be able to provide people with a preview because we know these large spaces or leadership spaces especially, they're planning out 1 year, 2 year, 5 years down the line. So they need to kind of have some inspiration and things to look out to think about how they're going to make their spaces.
Yeah, so stay tuned. Lots more exciting stuff coming from Orangebox. For those that want a solution right now, what's the call to action for our sales and our dealers? What can they do now?
Yeah, definitely. So, one of the first things you can do is get these customers into your spaces, get them to see the pods, experience them, because that's what really sets us apart when you experience the louvered ceiling, when you experience all the different types of materiality with On the QT. If you don't have one in your space, get to a Steelcase Work Life. Include your Orangebox regional sales rep, product experts in all things Orangebox. So on the East Coast, we have Kyle Griffin. In the South, Christine Woodard. I'm kind of in the central area and cover all of Canada. And on the West, we have Lisa Hoxter. And then also, to kind of get materials, and if you just need a place to kind of look and deep dive, orangebox.com or steelcase.com/orangebox has a lot of great information and photos.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Jacob.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Next, it was one of the biggest standouts at NeoCon. The Steelcase Ocular Table with Microsoft Front Row Experience helps to create the virtual meeting of the future by literally changing the shape of the table and the orientation of the room, all to make a better meeting experience for everyone in every location. Take a look.
Today I'm meeting with my colleagues Mary Elaine Rausch and Christina Verdon, both who work on hybrid collaboration team for Steelcase. And this is really cool. It's the Ocular Table from Steelcase with the Microsoft Teams Front Row Experience. You probably saw how it was wide and then it narrowed in on me. It's so cool. What a cool room. Christina, tell us how this all came to be.
Yeah, this is really an exciting part of the story, I think, and this is really what our team has been working on for a number of months in creating this technology partner ecosystem where we have partners with Microsoft, Zoom, Logitech, Crestron, and this project really came from Microsoft working on their new Front Row Experience in Teams and saying, you know what? We need to really think about the space and how the space has to support this new experience within Teams. Otherwise, this is not going to work very well. So they were able to come to Steelcase early on and we were able to say, yeah, you're right. Like the space, this is not set up for just a traditional conference room setting. We need to really flip this and leverage the longer real estate walls and create a table that really can support this. But more importantly, leverage our insights that we've been working on for numbers of years around this type of experience.
That's really cool. One of the things that works about this room is that it's eye to eye. It's so different to see you guys. Like it feels like I'm really looking at you, like you could be in this room with me here in Chicago. And Mary Elaine, tell us why that's so important.
We need to add the lens of hybrid, right? So we need to start thinking about not only eyes to eyes in the room, but I need to think about, as a designer, eyes to eyes when I'm looking at Katie and trying to make those sight lines as natural as possible. If we do that, right, it'll be a better experience on video.
And one of the really cool features I love is, and you kind of saw it in the beginning, is watch how the camera moves. It just moves with you, so you don't have to worry about like fiddling with some device in the middle of your meeting to get a better view. So I'm going to demonstrate this real quick. Let me go get some of my colleagues out here, and what you can watch as the camera moves. Thank you. Hi. Hi. This is Nicole and Brenda. Hi, guys. Hey, thanks so much for joining me, guys. Look at how this room, so they're going to sit on the end so you can see the whole space, which is just, it's so cool how it moves up. Mary Elaine, though, like, tell us why this is so important.
Yeah, so I mean, this whole design, like Christina was talking about, right, that's making the experience. So the fact that the camera moves out, the fact that you're seeing our faces right at eyesight on your screen, right? And what we're trying to do is encourage engagement. So that's a principle that for hybrid collaboration is very important. So if we think about engagement, we need to not only get people to the office, right? But once they're to the office, you need to compel me to move from my desk to these hybrid meeting spaces. And just like you're experiencing, Katie, it's compelling. People are going to want to meet here because we've figured everything out. It's very easy for you to come in and have a successful meeting.
Yeah, and there's no intimidation factor. Like the intimidation factor is completely gone now.
Yeah, as you guys are talking, I'm reminded of our principles: equity, ease, engagement, right? And it feels like you're kind of hitting on all of those points as you go through. Mary Elaine, though, I want to go back to you. One of the things that's really cool about this room, of course, is the table and the table shape. Tell us why we're thinking about table shapes for these days.
Yes, and it is much more than that. So I work in product development, and when these tables come out, it may look very easy, but we might spend months and rounds with industrial design kind of iterating and testing, and what we're looking for are those sight lines, right? So we want to make sure there's natural sight lines in the space. We want to make sure there's natural sight lines to the remote participants. And the other thing that a table shape does is it kind of signals to a user where to sit, right? So we're trying to ensure a successful experience.
Before we go, Christina, I have to ask you, what do our sales and dealers need to know? Like, what do we want them to do with this?
Yeah. So I think first and foremost, we really have to remember there is no other competitor out there who has this story that they can share. There's not anything like this that's circulating. We have a strong partnership with Microsoft and the rest of our technology partners, and we are applying that partnership into spaces like this to make our customers successful. That's one of the biggest things. The other thing, we have a whole story that we told at NeoCon, not only in this room certainly was very popular, but right next door we had a full collaboration story, and across the way we had a hybrid huddle. If I could say one thing that I need every salesperson to do is get this story in front of your customers, bring them to Chicago if you can, or do a virtual tour, and put this story in front of them.
And the table is available now, so get it in front of your customers. Yeah. Put in those orders. Christina, I heard her say at NeoCon, she's taking orders. She's ready for your orders.
Yes, I am. We have orders. We've sold this table to a lot of customers already. It's coming and it's happening fast, and we need to capitalize on that right now.
We care about the impact we make on the world we share, which is why for more than 100 years we've used our business as a force for good. And we are truly leading the way in our industry. So today we're introducing our new impact report featuring progress on our goals in FY22 and inspirational stories from around the company. This report is designed to help you communicate our goals and good work with your customers. And you guys, it's fantastic. To share more about this and this year's Impact Report, here's Beth O'Shaughnessy. Thanks for joining me, Beth.
My pleasure, Katie. Thank you.
Well, today I'm so excited. Our Impact Report for 2022 is live. It has so much great information in it. I wonder if you can just give us the highlights.
The question is, Katie, where do I begin?
Yeah.
Because as you say, there's so many great stories that we should be proud of. But I will start with carbon neutrality and maintaining it year over year. It takes significant financial investment each year to maintain carbon neutral status. It's not a one and done proposition. And yet that's not enough. We also have to reduce our emissions over the next decade by 50%. In doing so, we're actually engaging our suppliers and asking them to set emission reductions targets as well. And we started installing solar panels in Germany and in India. It's game-changing and it's industry-leading. But then I want to talk for a moment about just BIFMA level certifications. We now lead the industry with 281 certifications.
Woohoo!
And if you look at just the highest level of certification, level 3, we have grown year over year by 268%.
Wow.
It's amazing.
That is amazing.
Turning to social innovation, we continue to be the leader in our industry and among the leaders in the world for helping our community partners do great works. With respect to DEI, we continue our internal efforts and we've had great successes. We're now well over 50% female on our board of directors. Our intern class has never been more diverse. And we've got new hiring practices that create advancement opportunities for all. And we're focusing on leaders and their growth through a program like HUMU. And then I'm especially proud of our new global human rights and labor policy. It truly took a village to bring numerous pre-existing policies throughout our organization together and conform them to international norms and standards, and then vet this policy with our board of directors. So truly, one exciting story after another.
Yeah, so much good stuff. I mean, and it really is impressive when you look from our carbon neutrality to our new global labor and human rights policy and everything in between that you mentioned. It's very impressive. There's a lot of really good data and a lot of proof points in this report, but there's also some very human stories and some lives touched in unique ways. I wonder if you can share some of your favorite stories with us.
I can, just a couple. And I have to start with India. And I love this story because it highlights the global comprehensiveness of our DEI policies, and specifically our commitment to advancing the representation of women throughout our organization. So for example, in India, until a few years ago, only a few women worked on our plant floor in Pune. They got together, they created what they're calling Women of Steel, and it launched this year with the objective to raise awareness against unconscious bias and celebrate women's achievements. And I'm proud to report that the Series 1 line in Pune is now 100% staffed with women.
That's so awesome.
In a country where only 12% of manufacturing talent is female. It's incredible.
It is incredible.
But I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about another inspiring story in a completely different area. We'll move to Seattle, Washington, where we worked with a large global company that was redesigning their offices, and they wanted help ensuring that their no longer needed products and equipment would not end up in a landfill, but instead would find a good home. Enter our environmental consultant, Green Standards, who not only helped them divert 1,000 tons of no longer needed products away from a landfill, but also helped them bless 13 nonprofit organizations with charitable donations. So a win on both the environmental front and the people front.
Awesome.
It's beautiful. And I'll close with an empowerment story from one of my very own team members, Zoe Wilson, who felt confident enough internally challenging some frequently used IT terms like whitelist and blacklist, explaining that these are characteristically inherently racist terms. So watch for the terms allow list and blacklist to replace whitelist and blacklist in our terminology internally, and also externally, as a major technology vendor has followed our lead and has changed their terms as well. That's progress.
Yeah, that is progress. That is progress. And it's so impressive and inspiring. And I'm wondering, if I'm a salesperson or a dealer out there, what should I do with this report? What should I do with these stories?
Start by downloading the very long report. Share it with your customers. Read through it and pick a few stories and memorize them so that you can share them with your customers. They're not that difficult. They're short, they're sweet, and if I can memorize carbon neutrality and greenhouse gas reduction emissions, anyone can.
Yeah.
And then watch for presentation materials and sales tools that'll be coming your way.
Yeah. Sales tools coming soon, report available now. Thank you so much for joining me, Beth. This was great.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, coming up, we know it's the solution for hybrid work. We're talking about the Steelcase Flex collection. But first, this summer, we debuted our new relationship with the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation. Here's a quick update.
The Racine Collection is the first launch in our new relationship with the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation. It will be in quote-only ECAT this month with first order entry in the first quarter of next year. The collection is a reintroduction and reinterpretation of the pieces Steelcase originally manufactured in 1939 for the S.C. Johnson Administration Building in Racine, Wisconsin. It is a compelling new solution for our customers as well as a celebration of our historical connection to Frank Lloyd Wright. The Racine Collection includes both the Signature Collection, a testament to our shared history between Steelcase and Frank Lloyd Wright, and the Modern Collection that looks forward with reinterpreted work from Frank Lloyd Wright. Now is the perfect time to share this iconic product line with your customers and start building momentum.
Most organizations that choose hybrid work are trying to offer a balance between the flexibility people want and the need to bring employees together to create greater cohesion and build a sense of community. Hybrid work comes with new behaviors and new needs in the office, a need for collaboration and privacy, a need for a sense of community and belonging, and of course, a place for all the video calls. The Steelcase Flex collection is designed to create a dynamic, flexible neighborhood, and it's the solution for the entire floor plan. The Flex collection is the solution for hybrid work, providing people with flexibility to adapt their space to meet the rapidly changing work activities. No one else in the market has a product as thoughtfully designed for hybrid work as this. But often, this inspiring storytelling isn't enough for customers. They have to see it to believe it. When our customers experience the Flex collection with personal spaces, they are convinced it is the no-regret solution for hybrid work. Showroom tours, pilot spaces, GR trips, mock-ups, all help us win with Flex. Your clients really need to experience it to believe it. A great furniture solution would not be complete without power. These 3 new work tool additions make better work possible and are available now, so get them in front of your customers today. Steelcase Universal Modular Power System provides convenient power at desks and around shared tables. Just a single standard outlet can power multiple desks or a large conference table to charge devices and support power access for multiple users. Next, convenient desktop power is within everyone's reach with the new PowerStrip Intro Collection editions. Choose from 3 convenient UL-listed configurations. You really want to amp up power with this collection? Include our 3rd new edition, Under Work Surface Utility Power. Under Work Surface Utility Power offers multiple power outlets for plugging in work necessities in a hidden, compact way. A key detail, it's designed to be stowed in the Universal Cable Management Kit, which is sold separately. Here are 3 things to remember about these new work tools. First, they are UL listed. That means confidence in its recognition and tested for everyone's safety. Second, one cord out technology means easy to plan and install, no electrician or hardwiring needed. And finally, all of these products are designed with the same thoughtful aesthetic, trending technology, and trusted engineering, all from Steelcase. As a reminder, all these products have more information at steelcase.com/new. To find the sales tools and resources, scroll down to the bottom of Village to find a direct link to the sales presentation, Work Better magazine, image collection, dealer showroom offer, product availability, and more. All of this is available to support you starting today. Okay, everyone, stick around. In just a few minutes, you'll see our brand refresh in action. You'll be the first to see inside the new Work Better magazine. First, though, Establish & Sons Island is now available. Let's check it out.
It is versatile, modular, and space optimizing. Meet Island from Established & Sons, a bench seating system that transforms unused in-between spaces into a communal, social, and collaborative environment. Accessible from all sides, it invites people to sit, perch, or lounge. This simple system is easily scalable with long modular units and attachable accessories such as variable table sizes, armrests, backrest styles, and plugins. According to designers Erwin and Ronan Borlick, it's designed to encourage relaxed social interactions, impromptu meetings, or a pause between journeys. See the Island collection at steelcase.com/new.
Every design project is different, but the need today is universal for beautiful furnishings in inviting spaces that bring people together at work. The Steelcase Ancillary Collections helps fulfill your designer or client's vision with exceptional design. You can learn more about the Steelcase Ancillary Collection by visiting our new site, steelcase.com/ancillary, where you can search by brand or product category and find sales tools on the Village resource page. We're broadening our focus to the mid-market and are asking you all to help us. With new products, new services, and new digital experiences, AMQ is making it easy for you to win business. Our strategy is to help our dealers find new business, save time, and offer a complete portfolio spanning the floor plate and delivering in 10 days. There's no place better to show off the new strategy than in the AMQ showroom here in Grand Rapids. Here with more and a tour is Jim Stelter.
Welcome to the AMQ showroom here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We invite you in both virtually and in person to come see it. It's all about the mid-market. What's the mid-market? 5 to 250 workers, 5 to 250,000 is our sweet spot. And we have a full collection of products and applications, as you can see, to bring you in, either in person or virtually. AMQ, you got to remember it, agile. We make sure that we're working at solutions that get to it quickly and new processes. Modern, contemporary design that looks fabulous and quick. 10-day delivery when you need it. Let's take a look at what some of those products can do for you right now and welcome you to the Mid-Market Showroom. One of the best things about Showroom is not just the product, but the people that are here to serve you. Justin, tell us a little bit about seating.
Yeah, Jim, so the entry-level segment of seating continues to grow as small to medium-sized businesses prioritize budget and speed while still meeting the performance expectations of commercial-grade seating. Right here in the Steelcase family of products, AMQ can be your go-to brand for all things seating when pursuing those price-sensitive, mid-market projects with shorter timelines.
And how fast can you get it?
10 days delivered.
Another great part of the showroom is we can reintroduce or bring your clients into experience, play with, and integrate with Amobi. You've all seen it at NeoCon, won the Innovation Award across the board. It personifies what we're doing with a brand. That ease, the flexibility, and the capability to come in quickly, unbox, and be part of a space. We've been repeatedly followed up with real estate firms and others that say this is a product that makes sense for them. So bring your clients in and we'll play with it right in front of them. We have a complete selection of Amobi. A great showroom with experts. Experts that understand products and will help your clients understand how good it is. Meet Danielle. She understands Embank.
Meet Embank, AMQ's brand new case goods line. The great thing about Embank is that it spans the entire floor plan, not just in a private office like you see here, but in other spaces like cafes and enclaves for a quick touch point.
And it delivers how fast?
In 10 days.
Danielle, thank you. Okay, that's a quick tour. You've seen some of the great product. You met a couple of the people that make it special. What about how do you get into the showroom, virtually or in person? Meet Liz, our new showroom manager. Liz?
Hello, I'm Liz Riley, showroom manager for AMQ. I welcome you to visit our website at amqsolutions.com to schedule your in-person or virtual tour. We are here to help you.
All this team, so great people that understand product and will help you win. Great product that meets all the needs across the business. And process. We put together a process with quizzes that allow your clients to tell you exactly where they are. New lead services, new configurators that demonstrate the product application. Thank you for your time today. I'd like to talk personally to all of you about 2 items. Number one, just the pride you should feel in your Steelcase family. Not just yourselves and all you're doing for us in this tough environment, but that IT work hand in hand with operations, which work with marketing, which work for sales. And together, this is a successful program that's rolled out in a record time. And that proves that Steelcase can do this. So that's number one. Number two is that we've created this process for you. That this is something that is not just about, hey, here's a product. Because products exist at our dealers now. Hahn, Global, Sit On It, OFS. We want that business back, our share of wallet. And we need to create a program that allows it to do it. Now we're testing that now with 43 dealers, soon to be rolled out to all of them. So bring it on. It's proving to them we can get them leads. And they follow up on the leads. Especially at this size. We don't want to bother you with that, but when it gets to a certain size, we are going to ask you to get involved. This is a team effort, and this is a team sport, and we're all working together like never before. So thank you for your time, and I hope you feel the passion and enthusiasm from all of us. Bring it on. We're ready for you.
Next, 3 exciting new products from Smith System will be featured in this fall's campaign. First, Flowform hexagon and square ottomans add a new level of comfort and flexibility to open spaces. Easily rearrange Flowform ottomans in limitless configurations for collaborations that transform education settings into a more stimulating learning environment. Both products are available now. Flowform Learn Lounge addresses a conceptual need for collaboration and comfort, but also allows for a variety of choice in learning spaces. Research shows students are more engaged in collaborative learning experiences when they can take control. The softer shapes of Flowform Learn Lounge encourage students to flow freely and move furniture easily to adapt to their learning styles. The flex screens include a solid or peripherated design to create zones and space division for student engagement and privacy. Reserve Flowform Learn Lounge today, ready to ship in the 4th quarter of this calendar year. So that's very soon. We introduced the new West Elm Health Collection at NeoCon to rave reviews. The thoughtfully curated selection of product lines are strategically modified to create inspiring spaces that fit the high-performance needs of healthcare environments. The collection is plannable and quotable now, with FOE targeted in the 1st quarter of next calendar year. Be sure to check out the West Elm Health Collection page on Village for great resources to support you in your sales and design efforts to create engaging spaces that work better for patients and their families. It's only been a few short months since we closed the acquisition of design leader Halcon, and our teams are already coming together and winning projects. As our teams integrate and learn how to grow together, I sat down with Halcon President Ben Conway to hear how things are going. Well, hi, Ben. Thanks so much for joining me. Welcome to Michigan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
What an exciting time for Halcon and for Steelcase. And a lot of us are still getting to know you and getting to know your business. Tell us a little bit about how you got started.
Well, Halcon was founded in 1977 by my father. I actually worked in manufacturing in high school, eventually found my way back later in life, and I've now been at Halcon for just over 20 years.
Oh, wow. That's great. Something always brings you back, right?
It really does.
So Halcon feels like, to me, this year at NeoCon, Halcon felt like the darling of the ball. You won Best in Competition, your showroom was packed, you were just slammed with people all of the time, and everyone was talking about Halcon, of course, your new product, Helm. But I understand this isn't even the first time that you've won that award. So what is your secret sauce, Ben? Like, what makes it so special?
Oh, there's a lot we put into the product, and thank you for that. It was really exciting to win 2 gold and Best of Competition this year.
Wow.
Great new product introduction, Helm. We worked with Yves and Lau, but great designers, great product. I think that product is very reflective of the things that Halcon really tries to bring to market with our products. Of course, we make it the highest possible quality of product that we can make, but design plays such an important role that we have beautiful products. And then the other piece is innovation. And that's something that we continually are striving to bring truly innovative products to market. So it's been great, and we're going to continue to do that and continue to bring the very best products to market that we can. We're always striving to be the very best.
Yeah, I wonder if you can talk a little bit about our value proposition together and how we're going to go to market together.
Sure. Yeah, it is very exciting. And as you know, one of the things that Halcon does very, very well is win professional services awards. We do a ton of work with law firms. And so taking our expertise and our ability to work really closely with the A&D community, our customization capabilities are really our strengths. And I think when you look at where we perform really well and you pair that with everything that Steelcase does so incredibly well, it's a really great combination. And I think that combination goes beyond just the product. I've been so happy to work with all these new people that I'm meeting at Steelcase, and the culture's fantastic, and my whole team feels the same way.
Oh, that's really great. I mean, it's been about 3 to 4 months since the deal closed, and I wonder if you have any early wins or excitement, or what the market is saying. Like what's it been like the first 3 months?
It's been really exciting. So there's obviously been a lot of conversations about the deal, about how this is going to work, and yeah, we're working together on some projects that are actually going on right now, and we're already paired up on new opportunities, things that we're working on together. So that collaboration and working together, we're already in just a couple of months seeing that kind of all come together. So it's great.
That's awesome. So many of our sales and dealers, our audience today, I know is so excited about your product and the beauty of it and your team and all of that. But I feel like I have to ask you about the big elephant in the room, which is lead times. We've heard lead times are a little bit challenging right now, and I'm wondering if for our sales or dealers who might want to work with you or have a project that they want to bring Halcon into, what's your advice to them? What's your action to our sales or dealers today?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up, because lead times have been a challenge. That's just the reality of where we're at, given that we have record sales volume at Halcon, and that's really been impacting
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that part of it's great, but extended lead times are something that we have to navigate. And the big thing I would ask our dealer partners is to just open up a dialogue with us when they have that opportunity. We have dedicated project managers at the Halcon factory that follow a project from concept through quotation, order, all the way through the end of the project and punch list. And as part of that service, we can actually build a timeline for potential clients that allows us to get an award and lock in production time prior to a firm PO and prior to those final approvals. So just by communicating, we're really able to put together a plan that works for our clients together.
That's great. Well, thanks, Ben. Thanks so much for sharing that, and thanks for joining me today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
For any of your Halcon needs, be sure to contact your local Halcon rep. If you don't know your rep yet, you can find them on the Halcon website. You'll be able to search by state or fill out a form, and they will get back to you. They will be your subject matter experts for Halcon product and will help create a specification and quote for you to share with your client. At Steelcase, you can also reach out to Aaron Okama. Before we go, we think there's one thing you just must see. At the beginning of the show, we shared our brand evolution and showed a preview of our new magazine, Work Better. Now, you're going to be the first to see inside how our new reinvented brand is coming to life. Here with an exclusive look at our very first Work Better magazine is Gail Moutry.
As Katie said, this is an exclusive look. It's also an early look at the magazine. We are still working on some parts of this right now. It hasn't even gone to press yet. But I want to take you through some of the highlights from the magazine just so you can see the kind of content that you're going to be able to get October 25th. So as you know, it's our inaugural issue and it's the Work Better design issue. And what we will celebrate in it is all of the community of brands with some really, really good stories that reflect our commitment to and interest in design. Every magazine will have a section called Of Interest where we'll highlight some of the really interesting and key things going on around the world. We'll also have a spread always devoted to people and planet. And this goes back to our commitment to telling more stories around ESG in sticky ways and in more consumable sound bites. The Leader Commons space will have a full story on that we're calling Leadership by Design. It will show how to design a leader neighborhood, and it will feature some really beautiful shots of some of the applications that are within the neighborhood space. And one of the things we're doing is celebrating our own design team, because we have really good designers who work with us, and we would like them to be more visible to the world as well. There's a section called A World of Design, and this is where we're going to celebrate all of the community of brand design partners that we have. And we've worked hard at making sure we can bring some personality to those. So yes, here's the brand, but here's some of the designers behind the brands with some of the things that they have to say about their work. We have a feature where we're introducing Michael Held. And we think this is really important because we do have a new VP of Design to let the world see who he is and hear about some of the things that he thinks. We have an article on inclusive design. Again, we think it was important for a magazine about design to really talk about the groundbreaking work that we are doing relative to inclusive design in the industry that we're in. And then the next section that we'll call New and Notable, which is about new products and solutions available from Steelcase and also the community of brands. Important to know, we've included spaces for learning, and we also have a feature on health as well. A final article in here, although again, there's much more than what I'm showing you right now, but it's an article that we're calling Shapeshifters, and how moving forward in a hybrid world means designers have to really rethink the shape of not only the rooms that they work in, but also for us to rethink the shape of some of the furnishings that we create. So the end of every magazine will conclude with something we call inspiration, where we will just show something, whether it's a product, an object, an idea, that we find inspiring. And then we'll also use the last cover of the magazine to promote things, additional things that could help our readers, like who's talking on the Work Better podcast, how to find the Global Report, or the fact that the Work magazine's also available in a digital edition. Now, a very special feature of this inaugural issue will be an insert, and it's an insert that's been designed by Vicarbe, and it will help readers see some of the new products that Vicarbe has and some of the exciting new additions that they're making to their line. So the design issue, we are very excited about this. We're excited that it reflects the way our brand's going to go forward, that we are the leaders in the industry on design, insights, and research. And as soon as it's ready, we need you to make sure that, first of all, you read it, engage in it, and then share it with everybody that you can.
You can find resources for everything we cover today at steelcase.com/new, including the sales presentation, which features availability, pricing, positioning, and competitive information. The new campaign will be public October 25th. And please remember, take the survey. The link is in the chat. We'd love to know what you think of our broadcast. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you in January. Happy fall, everyone.